Guest of honor, Chodan Bhaskar, if he is joining.
Okay, sir.
Gogia sir, please switch on your video. Hello sir, welcome. Trivedi Saab.
Yes sir, good morning.
Good morning. Request the participants to type their name in the thing. We are getting iPad and
Yes sir.
system names and your name is okay sir, your name is okay. And Dell, iPad, SB Associates, please name and organization. Please type your name and organization.
So you're able to recognize me, no? Shivkumar Babu. Okay.
Oh, sir,
Yeah.
you have to switch on your video, sir.
Oh, it's all right, sir.
No, really, I was wanting to ask you.
Okay, it's all right.
Oh, thank you. Welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Shivkumar Babu Garu, President IGS.
Yeah, it's fine, sir.
Joining.
Great.
So last week we missed you, but
Yeah.
Anil Joseph was there anyway.
Yeah. You know, we all meet next week also. We are meeting. We have an executive committee meeting. He's quite active. So.
Okay, sir. Gogia sir, Shivkumar Babu is President Indian Geotechnical Society. Professor Shivkumar Babu. I'll ask you to unmute.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
So we are another 6 minutes away. So this is the 7th consecutive Sunday meeting, sir, of all the associations in India. And we have formed a group of civil engineers.
Sir, please unmute, sir. Surya Prakash, sir.
నా పేరు మారలేదంటే నేను పేరు టైప్ చేశాను ఫస్ట్ నేమ్ లాస్ట్ నేమ్.
మీరు host కదా సార్.
ఓకే, ఇట్ వోంట్ చేంజ్. నేను టైప్ చేశాను ఎడిట్ ద నేమ్ అని.
Okay.
So this is the 7th consecutive Sunday meeting of all the engineers from all associations, civil engineering associations in India. And we have formed a Telegram group about a month back. And now we have crossed 11,000 members in the group, all civil engineers. And today only I got a call from AP Engineers Association Federation, where they said they will join all their members in this group. They have about 9,000 members in AP. Similarly, FACIET we have in Tamil Nadu, which also has about 9,000 members. So if we all join together, it's going to be a big force, and whatever actions we want to take will be more robust, I would say. Gogia sir. Your voice is not coming. Vinod Raja, welcome. Chennai, ACC.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to all.
Good morning. Yeah. Girish also joined. Srikanth from Bangalore. Girish, Instruct.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Sir Radhakrishnan sir, welcome. Very senior member from Chennai. Bhaskar, can you call guest of honor once?
Yeah, okay, sir. Okay.
He
Just-
said he will join at 11 o'clock. We have 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, he's joining.
Sir, just now he joined.
Yeah, he joined. We have to make him co-host. Welcome, sir. Udesh Kohli, sir. Chairman, ECI. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, well, I've just joined, so
Yeah, you are just in time. I think,
yeah, we still have a couple of minutes. So
yeah, that's always better because we have to check audio and video all
exactly.
night.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Thank you, sir, for joining in time. We'll start exactly at 11 o'clock, sir.
Yeah, and this is not, it's 11 to 12. How long normally you have?
Yeah, 11 to 12, sir.
Okay.
We want you to address the gathering today. And welcome Ajit Faujidarji. He's a president APGC, sir.
Okay, great.
And we have Rajvinder Singh ji from Punjab Civil Engineering and Valuers Association of India, CEVI. We have
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
we have
Good morning,
GL Shivkumar Babu, professor. He is also president Indian Geotechnical Society, sir. And we have Raju Gogia ji, who is the brain behind this movement actually. And we have Dr. Sorry. We have Janak Trivedi ji, who is president of Institution of Civil Engineers from Gujarat.
Good. You got a good.
And we have Girish, HR Girish, who is a senior person in Instruct, training civil engineers and skilled workers.
Morning, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alok Baumik, 1 minute. Sir, we are also joined by President Indian Association of Structural Engineers, Alok Baumik ji.
Okay.
Good morning to all.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Welcome, Alok Baumik ji. And we are also joined by past President APGC and our core committee member, F.U. Rahman from UP, sir.
Okay.
Welcome, Rahman ji. And we are also joined by Anil Joseph, Engineer Anil Joseph, who is the President of Force Kerala. It is a federation of all registered civil engineers in Kerala. And also he is a governing council member of IGS, sir.
Yeah, good morning all. Good morning, very good morning all.
Yeah. So it's 11 now. We'll start formal meeting of 7th Engineers Open Forum, sir. This is 7th Sunday. Every Sunday we are all meeting to discuss our issues and action plan for the engineers. Primarily, we are addressing 3 issues, sir. One is issues arising out of Architects Act and its proposed amendment. And the second is Engineers Bill, Professional Engineers Bill, which is to be enacted. And the third is issues being faced by planning engineers. 1 minute, sir. I'll mute. Bhaskar, can you mute all the participants except me? Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, I'm getting disturbed with joining people. Bhaskar, make it mute on joining for everyone. Thank you. So, third issue is the practicing engineers in almost all the states in India. We are all aware because of the uniform building bylaws proposed by the government of India, and almost all the states implementing these uniform building bylaws in the name of ease of doing business and citizen friendly, making up to 500 square meters plot size submissions without any signature or without any engineers authenticating the submissions. So these are the three primary issues we are all working, for which all of us felt that there is a need to join together and work on it so that we are all on the same tone, and we all work for the same objective of working for engineers' welfare and engineers' demands. So we are also joined by President Facet and P. Raghavan, K. Raghavan sir. Welcome, sir. Raghavan sir. From Tamil Nadu, sir. They are having 70 associations under the federation and about 9,000 members across Tamil Nadu. So, so we welcome you all to participate in this discussion. And today we are joined by Chairman of ECI, Engineering Council of India, which has many engineering associations, not only civil engineering, but all other engineering branches also. And they have been working for getting the engineers bill enacted. And in fact, in the beginning, it was formed to make it the council itself. And they have been working, and they have drafted the first engineers bill in 2009, which was to be enacted. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And now also they are working, persuading and pursuing with the Ministry of HRD and AICTE. So we will all welcome all the associations that are joined by their representing presidents and our core committee members from across the country, sir. So welcome Engineer Udesh Kohli, sir. He is also former member of Planning Commission, and in the under the guise of Planning Commission, this Engineering Council of India was formed. And I request Udesh Kohli, sir, to address our gathering. Welcome, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me, and I'm very happy to join today's meeting. And you have very rightly outlined some of the major issues facing the engineering community, particularly the civil engineers, but even others also. You rightly said the Engineering Council of India was formed. In fact, it was formed in 2002 by coming together of the professional associations of engineers. And one of the major area of concern was the lack of any legislation and a statutory body for the engineering profession. So we set up committees, and then we joined hand with all our member associations and drafted the bill, which was submitted to Ministry of HRD. In fact, it was in 2004, not 9. We had several discussions with them. In fact, within the government, there was some confusion in the beginning that which will be the nodal ministry. And I remember having met at that time the cabinet secretary and several officials to request them to decide this issue. And it took almost a couple of years for them to make Ministry of HRD as a nodal ministry, because for that the rules of business have to be amended within the government, which takes time. So within rules of business, this was added as a subject for the Ministry of HRD. We continued following up, and then there were some differences with some association like Institution Engineer, and then a group was formed under Mr. Shahi, R.V. Shahi, and a consensus draft was submitted to the ministry in 2007. Well, we continued to follow. I remember having met almost every minister since 2004, Mr. HRD. And then 2011, finally the ministry took action, and they took our draft and they amended slightly and then circulated draft in 2011. And a meeting was held in February 2011 in the ministry. It was an inter-ministry meeting, plus some of the associations were also invited. And there it was agreed that this draft will be carried further. Again, following with them continued, and I met the then secretary and the minister, and then somehow in 2013, they decided not to pursue this one, and we got a letter in writing from them saying that the ministry does not think that a statutory body needs to be set up, and a registered society can take up this work. I met then secretary also. They said, why can't you do it? You are already a registered body. So we launched the registration of professional engineers in 2015. In fact, this was launched by Mr. Suresh Prabhu, who was the chief guest at that time. And we started registration. We also informed the ministry that yes, we have started registration. Our, in fact, idea was that once we have a fairly good number, maybe 10,000-15,000 engineers who have been registered, we can go back to the ministry again and request for statutory backing for this one. Well, when the new government came, again, I went and met the new minister, Mrs. Smriti Irani, and the secretary, and requested them that they should review their decision of not going for statutory body at this time, and then told them that we have done a lot of work on this bill, and they should really pursue, although we have started registration, but they should really set up the statutory body. Again, well, things move quite slow in the government. But in 2018, Mr. Sridharan wrote to the Prime Minister, again pointing out the need for the bill. And then PMO sent it to the Ministry of HRD, and things started moving. And as we all know, they asked AICT to set up a committee. This committee under Professor Anant submitted a draft bill, which was discussed by AICT with the stakeholders in February 2019, where we also participated and several other associations participated. We gave our written comments, plus the comments verbally in the meeting, because we found there are a lot of deficiencies in that draft. So then I continued following up with the chairman of the AICT, and in September he informed that the ministry has asked them to revise the draft, and they've asked the committee to submit a revised draft. And in fact, the impression I got was that once the draft comes, it will again be discussed with the stakeholders. We didn't hear from them formally, but recently we came to know that they have submitted a revised draft to the ministry. So again, I have taken up with the secretary. I wrote to secretary that whatever the draft, let it be shared and discussed. And suppose we have whatever points we have, we can make those points so that the draft is a proper draft in the interest of the profession, engineering profession in the country, and in everybody's interest. So that's where the matter stands. I, in fact, intend to meet secretary and pursue it further. Hopefully, they will discuss with us, because normally any legislation which the government brings, they discuss with the stakeholders, and sometimes, many times they put on their portal also. They invite comments widely from public as well. I don't know what they're going to do in this case, but it will still take some time. In the present situation, I don't know it will get that much of priority compared to other matters. But hopefully, the matter is now going on, and so we should be able to get it pretty soon. So that's about the engineers bill. About the Architects Act and amendments, and also the recent Supreme Court decision, which was very favorable. In fact, we from ECI also, we have informed all the state governments, local bodies, and other departments, government departments, organizations, requesting them to consider the engineers working on drawings and designs and so on in the same manner as the architects do, and they should also be enrolled or registered for design work. Only thing is they can't be called architect, but they can be given any other name. We also brought to their notice the National Building Code. So what we have been trying to do is that trying to take up the matters in the interests of the engineering fraternity. When the lockdown started in the beginning, and a lot of problems were there, we wrote to Ministry of Finance also, requesting them to help the consulting engineers, because they were also facing a lot of problems, so help them financially and otherwise. So what I want to say is that Engineering Council of India has emerged as a forum for the engineers. And I would request you, the participants who are there in today's meeting also, that try to use this forum instead of creating other forum. See, what we need in this country is unanimity and a sort of coming together rather than going apart. So use this forum, whatever issues you want and to be raised, ECI can raise, that's not a problem. In fact, ECI has recently formed several task forces where we have requested the member associations to join and help and take up different issues. If there's any issue, we can set up a task force working group and they can pursue that issue. So there is a forum which is there for now, almost 18 years now, and it has been recognized by the government. We have been interacting with them. And as it was said by Mr. Tripka in the beginning, initially it was set up under the patronage of the then Deputy Chairman Planning Commission. But even today, we have seven nominees from the government bodies, government associations, government institutions, including Niti Aayog, the Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Urban Development, CSIR, and so on. So this is a forum which can be quite well used. So my request to you all is that please use this banner, this forum. It always helps that if you have a body like this, which is a sort of registered society, which is a legal entity and so on. And the legal entity, the advantage is that our financials and other things are well taken care of. Accounts are audited, annual reports are there, everything becomes public. So that's the submission I want to make. But if there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for a very precise address and pointing out to the issues that the engineers are facing and a briefing about the actions already that ECI has initiated on these two fronts mainly. And now the forum is open for questions from any of the presidents of the associations. If you raise the hand, probably I can activate you to, yeah, 1 minute. Engineer Rahman, sir, past president, APGC, Lucknow.
Good morning, Mr. Kohli.
Good morning.
Good morning, all members. So you might remember we had a very good meeting at Constitution Club with the ECI regarding the engineers bill way back in 2017, I think.
Yes.
Where we invited the engineers, MPs, and minister also. And since then, I think what development which we now see is what you have already referred about, that AICT has been interested with this responsibility. Now, as per our information, the draft which they have right now, the AICT, they have forwarded it to IIT and NIT's directors for comment. Am I right, or something more
No,
has happened?
MHRD has forwarded to IIT.
Yeah,
and
AICT has basically through
Submitted.
MHRD, it is forwarded to directors of NITs and IITs for comments. So, is there any further development in your knowledge, or
No, not as I said earlier. When we came to know that this draft has been submitted to the ministry, and the ministry has not invited us, for example. So that's why I took it up with the secretary. I plan to meet the secretary MHRD. I mean, once I get the opportunity to discuss with him, because I want to suggest to him there's associations like ECI and members of ECI and others who are very much concerned with this issue. They should be invited. This should be discussed with them. Their comments should also be invited and taken into consideration.
okay?
Yeah.
And so the other thing is that, as you said on the architect, the amendment which COA is basically requesting and pursuing.
Yes.
There, I think, sir, it's very clear in all our engineering associations that no associations want to be, say, named as, say, architects. It's not required, but it shall be a fair ground where engineers can practice, where architects can practice. It should not be a kind of, say, monopolized field. At present, what's happening that at the ground level, the consulting engineers are working equally or even better than their, say, counterparts. So what we need is a fair field. We do not need, say, any kind of, say, advantage to any party, which COA has been trying and have been getting till we have become, say, more proactive and we have been, say, countering their efforts. That's one thing. So engineers want to be named as engineers only, consulting engineer, professional engineers. That is one of the things.
Very important you said is that in fact, for several years, when they proposed these amendments so on, we have been, well, I must say one thing, we joined hands together with the ACC and CEI and others. And in fact, the matter went to the court also. It was in the court also for some time. And we have been able to stall it so far, but we will continue working on that. Only thing is this recent Supreme Court judgment has been very helpful that way. And if anything else happens, we must work. We have set up a task force on this issue also. We must work together to really oppose this type of amendment in the COA, the Council of Architects bill and so on. So if we work together, I think we will succeed.
Definitely, yeah. Yes, that's true.
Any other questions? I request the participants to raise the hand, whoever has the question. And meanwhile, I would like to invite some of the presidents who have joined after we started. Again, for the sake of new joinees, I'll introduce the presidents. We are joined by Dr. R. Jagdish, past president ACCE. We are joined by Srikant Chanal, who is representing ACCE as the task force. And we are joined by Girish, who is the coordinator for Instruct. We are joined by Janak Trivedi ji, president of Institute of Civil Engineers, and Ajit Faujidar, president APGC, Alok Bhaumik ji, president IS Truckee, and we have K. Raghavan, president FACIET and P. We have Anil Joseph, president Force, and we have Deepak Shah ji coordinating Madhya Pradesh engineers, and we have Raghunandan coordinating from Tamil Nadu. He's for last 5 years, and we have Vijay Sanap coordinating Maharashtra, and we have engineer Shivkumar Babu, president Indian Geotechnical Society, and Shashikant, who is coordinating Karnataka, and have I missed anyone? Jabir Choksi, coordinating Gujarat, very quite active and past president of ICE. Hemant Vadalkar, yeah, sorry, I mainly wanted, I saw him. Hemant Vadalkar, who is the representing Indian Society of Structural Engineers, and we have Dr. Gopinath, who is representing Structural Engineers Association of Tamil Nadu, And if I missed anyone, please raise the hand. So we are all joined by these presidents and representations from different states, sir. And now I request other presidents, any questions to the guest of honor today. Alok Bhaumik-ji.
Okay. Good morning to all, and I must thank Dr. Uddesh Kohli, who has made his presence today, and very encouraging speech from him. Only yesterday we had an AGM of ECI, and as a president of Indian Association of Structural Engineers, we had a very hearty discussion, and we have spoken our mind to ECI. I entirely agree with Dr. Uddesh Kohli when he said that ECI is a very powerful and resourceful association of some 32 member associations. It's a very strong and powerful merely because it represents actually 32 member associations. Jointly, I think we need to utilize this ECI resources and power to further the cause for which we civil engineers are fighting for, or engineering forum is fighting for. All the issues, I think, whatever we are discussing here, and every association is requested to represent to various LLBs and blah, blah. I think if similar letters go from ECI, it will be much more useful, and it will have more impact. So I would take this opportunity to request Dr. Uddesh Kohli to also, write letters to, I think they are already doing it, but I think maybe a little more aggressively, and reach all the, departments and write about this Council of Architects Act, about the Engineers Bill, etc. That's all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaumik Saab. Thank you. In fact, you contributed very well in the BOG meeting, Board of Governors meeting, and the AGM of ECI, which was held on the 10th. And we had very useful discussions. I would request, see, many of those who are present today, some of them are members of ECI. I'll request all other associations also to join ECI as member and strengthen it further. The more its strength it has, more forceful its voice will be.
Thank you, sir. In fact, in the last 7 meetings, we have been conducting every Sunday this open forum discussion, mainly with an objective of addressing these issues, because I know ECI has 32 member organizations, but it has all branches of engineering, and the same with the Institution of Engineers. We have 2 strong bodies in India, but they are representing the entire engineering fraternity, and this forum is primarily focused on issues being faced by civil engineers, sir. And in these last 7 meetings, the decisions that we have taken to act or to give representation and submit memorandums to all the members of parliament in India, because we have representation from almost all the states in this forum. And already, like FACIET is quite active and dynamic. In Tamil Nadu, they have submitted to almost like 20 MPs the representations requesting them to enact, because this will have a in the lawmaker body an impact. When all engineers approach MPs from different states, they will get to know that the engineers are needing this and they have to act on it. Number 1, sir. Number 2 is we decided to write letters to all the department heads, engineering department heads who are implementing agencies for various projects, who are calling NITs for architects, empaneling architects or engaging architects. So we have to write letters in the guise of recent Supreme Court judgment on March 17. Architects have no exclusive right in doing consultancy for the project. So we should ask all the departments to make NITs calling for consultants, not architects. So this is one action which we have initiated, and we started writing letters almost to 2,000 to 3,000 departments in the states and central government, sir. So we'll share the same details with ECI. We request
Yeah.
ECI and Institution of Engineers also to write to all the departments about importance of calling consultant. Number 3.
Definitely, we should reinforce these efforts, really.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
And,
it will have impact then.
Yes, sir. And the third action that we all have decided and implementing is writing to all urban local bodies to empanel engineers implementing the competence defined in National Building Code, and also we are sharing the copy of Supreme Court judgment, sir. So we request ECI and Institution of Engineers also to send these letters. We will share all the email addresses and letter drafts that we have made, which may be suitably modified for ECI or Institution of Engineers, and send it to all these ULBs, sir. So these are our 3 appeals, and we definitely
In
work.
fact, we have written these letters, I said earlier, to
Yes,
local bodies also and all that, but I think we will do it again further.
Yes, sir, because we have to
Thank you.
keep and request all the association presidents also to do this again. Because when there is a rain of these letters, definitely it will catch the attention of one of the decision makers and it will be implemented. Any other questions, sir, from other panelists here? If you raise the hand, I'll be knowing. Anil Joseph?
Good morning all, and good morning Udesh Kohli sir. It was very informative and a very vital point which you have shared is the need of the hour, unity among engineers. We are really fragmented, and that is the major problem which we are not able to get it. And especially the civil engineering community, because it is under threat from architects who is trying to usurp our rights. Even though they are not connected with the safety and stability of the building, they are trying to get control of the entire process, and in the process, we are risking the safety of the building. So together we will try to achieve that. In Kerala, we have about 9 to 10 different organizations comprising of about 30,000 members, but we have tied up together to form a organization called FORCE, Federation of Registered Civil Engineers Association, and we are trying in our level. But nationwide, if we are all united, we can move. And most important aspect is that safety is under threat. Now, last week itself, there was a reply from the IIA representative, a joint secretary, stating that Engineers Act is only limited to electrical, plumbing, and road works, and the engineers doesn't have anything to do with building construction. So, as a forum, we have to respond back to that, stating the National Building Code. What is written is that we don't want to have a confrontation, but the facts has to be brought into public. When they can circulate into the common public and getting done, why don't we also take the same strategy to bringing back? It was a response to a circular given by ACCI that this has come in. Definitely our team as a group, we have to take it up and tell them clearly that engineers has got as of now equal planning right than the architect, and the stability of the building is under the purview of engineers only. So this we have to highlight that, and we need your support on that. We all know the problem, but we are not able to come out with a solution to that. And the engineers will, like you pointed out, for last 20 years, we are all trying, but let us try to make a deadline and try to achieve that target, sir. Once it is done, things will be in place and we'll have a safe society. It is not only for the engineers we are fighting for, but the society in large. And that is the point which I would like to convey. And then if you say, when I go to architects colleges, it's a 2-acre campus with 1.5 crore rupees. You can make an architecture college, and they have made hundreds of them in the country. And so if they say they have 90,000 members, out of that 60,000 members are people which are less than 6 years of experience. So how can they take the responsibility of the structure and take the overall stability? We are creating a huge bomb if we allow it to happen. Let us not do that. As responsible citizens, we should fight for that, and we should make sure that we are making the engineers bill passed, and the responsibility is shouldered on architect. Can the take the responsibility for the job they are doing, but let us not give everything to them, and let us not make our next generation also to suffer because of this. That's what my humble request. Thank you very much, sir, for pointing out the need of unity at this hour. Together, whatever is the difference among us, let us be together and come out with the solution, and let us achieve our goal. Thank you, Engineer Surya Prakash, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
Well, Thank you very much. Together, we will make an impact and we will win. It's as simple as that.
And request Ajit Faujidar, President APGC UP.
Sir, good morning. Thanks for giving me an opportunity. This is Surya Prakash ji. Welcome, Udesh Kohli ji. Sir, I have two things to suggest here at this point. We are having a separate association called ISHRE. You might be knowing, Indian Society of Heating, Ventilation and Air Refrigeration. Recently, in the last 6 seminars, we have all been talking about the structural stability stipulations given by the urban local bodies to be followed. In that case, I would like to suggest in our open forum, ECI should come out with a proper guidelines, because through ISHRE, they have recently formed a guideline regarding the regulation of air conditioning during the COVID times. And you all must be aware that those guidelines Government of India has adopted and circulated through its official portal to be followed all over India, although they were being suggested by the association. So that kind of step can be taken up by the ECI as a holding body for practicing engineers in India and come out with a separate guidelines how the structural test should be conducted, because it shouldn't be like that with sitting in our office, our fellow members are giving us structural stability certificates and people are using them for their use. First is the suggestion. Secondly, sir, I would like to say that as we all know, those old legislations, Advocate Act, MCI once upon a time, CA, Architects Act, those were the times, I should say, because in recent past for last 6-7 years, whatever act is coming, that is basically intended for the user. I must start from RERA, because all the builders who ever are in the purview of that particular RERA, finally the end user is getting benefited of it, and that particular community is as on date in minority or going to extinct very soon the small time builders. Same again to regulate the CA associations, CA law, again government has introduced NEFRA. They have reinvented MCI in the recent by 2019. Now they are in line to push up the Valuers Act on those lines where user is getting benefited in spite of the professional. So I would like to enlighten the house that in what lines, what is the prayer or context in which this engineering act they are planning for, first of all. Secondly, consulting engineer is a very minority stake in the entire engineering fraternity. So how our interest will be taken care of in that Engineers Act? Thank you. That's all.
Well, thank you. See, the engineer bill, the draft which we had submitted had provision to take care of the engineering profession and the consulting engineers and others who are working for it. We have yet to see the officially, we have yet to see the bill which is now being considered by the government. Once we get a copy, we will share with all our member associations, and try to get suggestions so that we go back to the government with these suggestions to take care of our issues which we are facing. So that's on the bill. And the other one, the earlier point which you made about the structural engineers and the guidelines and so on. Well, if ECI is required to do that, we will be very happy to do that in consultation with our member association. Because ECI is basically strengthens our member association. So member associations which are doing with the structures and other areas, we consult them, and we can work on that. We can, in fact, set up a separate task force on that issue if necessary. Main thing is, just let us know what you would like ECI to do, and ECI is there. ECI considered as your body. That's my main submission.
Thank you, sir. Request K. Raghavan, sir, President, FACET and P, Tamil Nadu.
Good morning, Engineer Udesh ji. See, I appreciate you as well as ECI doing good job for engineers. From today onwards, we join together, work together, and we will win together. Actually, we are in action now. Within 1 week, we will meet all MPs of Tamil Nadu. Already half the way mark. So within 1 week, we will finish it up. Because of COVID, this one, we are not getting the appointments to some higher officials. Within 1 week, we will finish it up. So we will join together, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Actually, we all must appreciate Facet and P for implementing meticulously the decisions taken by our body. They have translated our appeals into Tamil, and then they are submitting the memorandums in Tamil to, so far 20 MPs they have submitted, and balance also they are going to submit in the coming. I request all the associations across the country in different states to do the same, follow the suit, so that it will definitely help all our engineers. Next, any other association? ACC, Srikanth or Dr. Jagdish sir, do you have anything to say on behalf of ACC? Yeah.
Yeah. Shall I speak?
Yeah.
Okay. See, this architect's amendment proposed, we are all discussing, thinking that only the planning and aesthetics aspects are being taken away and they are making it exclusive. It is not so. They are doing much more than that. See, they want to regulate the construction also. I don't know whether all the amendments have been keenly observed or not. That means to say, even our works will be routed through architects. This has to be clearly understood by each and everyone. Because everyone we are discussing, I am hearing every time we only think of they are grabbing this planning and aesthetics from the civil engineers. No, it is not so. They are going to grab even the selection of an structural engineer, submission of our all engineers drawings and documents like surveying, geotechnical engineering, structural drawings, calculations, everything is going to be routed through them, which we have to keep it in mind. And even selection of a contractor or a PMC will be after the permission and their approval only it is going to happen. That is what they want to regulate the construction. That word is very important. Regulation of the construction they want to take over. So please understand this. And
we have to oppose it. We have to fight it really.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's all what I wanted to have.
Yeah. Any other association presidents wanting to say, address this gathering? Otherwise, I have some points for the chairman ECI. Mainly, sir, Girish, you can speak.
Just to add to what Srikanth says, in a nutshell, it is directly akin to what erstwhile British did to India. That is precisely what they are trying to do. Total control. That's what I would like to say, sir. I second. Thank you.
Yes.
Srikanth,
yes, sir.
You have something to say?
Yeah, just I wanted to have this. There are so many engineers bills that are circulating. Which one is the final and official one? We are really in blank because we were studying at ACC task force to have our comments be ready to submit it to the MHRD. But till now, I don't know whether the this one is final or that one is final. How to get the official copy? We have already written to MHRD. But if it is anything is there, you please share with us so that we will prepare that before it comes to this thing.
Okay.
Yeah. See, the official draft one was by MHRD circulated in 2011, and after that, what we got recently was the first draft of the AICT committee in 2019, which was discussed in February meeting. But we do not still have officially the second draft which they submitted to MHRD. The earlier draft is circulated to all our member associations. The moment we get this draft, we will again circulate to all member associations so that everyone is there. Have the opportunity to comment.
Thank you, sir.
Hopefully, we should get it soon.
Yeah. Janak Trivedi ji.
Yes, sir. Good morning to all. Sir, we have seek the appointments for the MPs because of the COVID heavy in Gujarat and Surat particularly. We are not getting the time from there. So what we have decided to, by tomorrow, we will mail all the MPs and NIT and IIT to take care of our issues. This is the report from our side. Number two is all South Gujarati Association has now become active engineers from the 7 districts that we have taken responsibility of, and they are now active in this direction. Now, sir, one question from my side is, what is the status of COA amendment they are proposing? That I would like to know.
Sir, actually, they have only made the draft. They are circulating among their members, and they have had to come to the stage of submission to MHRD. And we feel that they, COA cannot amend this act. I think Shashikant Jadhav is there here. Can you, Shashikant Jadhav? Okay, I think he's not able to come in. But sir, I have 2 points to be considered in our proposal actually.
Yes.
Civil engineers constitute 1/5 of the total engineering fraternity, sir.
Yes.
Civil engineers. And I somehow got unofficially the draft that is there in circulation with IITs and NITs. And as per that draft, if we see, civil engineering associations or civil engineers are not getting the representation of 1/5 in the council, actually, number one. Number two is, once the council is formed, the civil engineering is going to be the requiring this act, because to regulate the professional engineers and to license the professional engineers in various disciplines, whether it is consulting engineering or consulting civil engineering or structural engineering, geotechnical, project management or infrastructure. These are all the broadly various disciplines in civil engineering, in which we have seen just in Kerala, there are 30,000 engineers practicing. And in Tamil Nadu, there will be 20, 30,000. Like every state, we have 20,000 to 30,000 engineers practicing. We always have the data of the cities quite well, but if you get into the states where every district, every town, engineers are practicing, and in the interest of our nation and control of the resources to be utilized optimally, we require to have this regulation to accord this professional engineer license and make them work professionally. So we feel that there should be representation of one association for each of these disciplines. Like structural engineering, we have IS Structi here or any other one structural engineering. Consulting civil engineers, we have ACCE. And consulting engineers, we have CEAI. Geotechnical engineers, we have IGS, Indian Geotechnical Society. And all the state federations, we have a representation from different states. So there should be a representation of these practicing planning engineers in different states in the council, sir. So this is what, and IRC we have, Indian Road Congress. We have Indian Building Congress, IBC. So these are all the organizations which are really working in various specializations, and probably, and Institution of Engineers, of course, and ECI. You are already there, but you are looking after all the disciplines. But as far as civil engineering is concerned, we feel that these associations should be authorized or entrusted with the responsibility of drafting guidelines for according these licensing for professional engineers in these specializations, sir. I want your comments, sir.
No, see, first of all, taking your last point, the earlier draft of the act, and I think the new draft, I can't talk about it unless we get officially.
Yes, sir.
But it had provided for the membership of several civil engineering organizations. Some were missing, and which we said in our comments that they should also be added. For example, in the earlier draft, ACC and Structural Engineering Association was not there. Institution was not there. So we said that we don't know finally what they have included. But one thing I want to say is earlier draft and probably this draft also, the authority to give license for professional engineers is to be given to the associations.
Yes, sir.
This is the main point. The statutory body will license the professional associations like say ACC and others and whosoever are there listed there, who will there will be central guidelines, and based on that, they will register the professional engineer, which is a very major difference from the other councils like medical council and the bar council and so on. There, the bar council, medical council, they themselves were registering. Here, the provision so far has been, suggested has been, that registration of professional engineers will be done by the body to be licensed by the council, by the statutory council. So that will give us a good opportunity. First of all, we have to ensure that we are in it. And secondly, another thing, let me say, even if all associations are not listed there as a member of the council, that doesn't matter, because the statutory council can give license to any other body. I mean, they will have the criteria for giving license, so they can give license for registration to other association institutions also. So that will be, hopefully once we get the draft, we will be able to give our comment, first of all, get the comments from our associations, and then give all these comments to the Ministry of HRD.
Thank you, sir. I think that's the right thing. You are also in line with our thinking, and we have to work for achieving it, sir. Dr. Jagdish, sir, do you have anything to comment?
Thank you, Prakash. Thing is, what Dr. Udesh Kohli said is perfectly in order. First of all, let's get the bill passed. Later on, add-ons can be done. Amendments, add-ons can always be done. All of us work together to see that the bill is passed first. So let's strengthen the hands of FCI and Institute of Engineers if necessary to see that the bill is passed, because they have more access to government. They are going and meeting all the concerned people, putting their effort. So we should strengthen their hands to see that first the bill is passed. And then you can think of all the other things, add-ons and amendments. Amendments can be made. Constitution is being amended. Well, after all, the engineering bill can be amended anytime, any number of times. So please strengthen the hands of FCI.
ECI and Institution of Engineers.
Institute of Engineers.
Yes,
to see that the bill is passed, because they have got access to government.
Yes, sir.
They are meeting. They have been meeting continuously. Particularly Udesh Kohli, Dr. Udesh Kohli is putting all his efforts. So please strengthen his hands and see that the bill is passed first in the whatever the manner it has. Bill should be introduced and passed. Add-ons can be always done, as we telling right from the beginning itself.
Thank you, sir.
That's all my comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shashikant, you want to say something? Kannur?
Yes, sir. I want to tell something.
No, you have to mute one of your things. Yeah. Yeah, now one phone you have to be on. One phone you should, yeah. Shashikant is coordinating Karnataka practicing engineers actually, sir. In districts and this one. But you are not audible, Shashikant. You have to unmute one phone, this phone. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Now you can speak.
Hello.
No, you are not audible, not audible. Your voice is not clear. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
We'll come back to you. Yeah. Yeah,
Hello?
now it's clear.
Yes, sir. So I feel proud and happy that we are the first to support this engineers bill from our area. As soon as your words came to me,
Yeah.
And the thing is, now I request you sincerely, because so whenever every webinar I am attending and our team is attending, so
Yeah.
I want to ask the question. So at that time, so I request you to allow us to ask the questions.
Yeah. Now
The
you
thing
ask.
is, first thing I want to ask, how much time may it take to settle this engineers bill issue? This is my first question. Second question. So we have been awarded as a diploma in civil engineering, not as a supervisor. Are you listening, sir?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Continue.
Are you listening?
Yes. 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 Continue.
Yes, sir. So diploma civil engineers are not the supervisors. The NBC who wrote it, that should be taken into account while scripting or writing, preparing this NBC. At that time, diploma engineers all over India mostly were not aware. At that time, civil engineering field was not this much advanced, and technology also is advanced. So diploma engineer, the diploma engineers have been awarded by as a diploma in civil engineering, not as a supervision. And I request sincerely Engineer Surya Prakash and ACC India, our president sir, and our Chanal sir is our representative. So whenever webinar is there, anything if we want to ask, please allow us to ask, because I am representing our area.
Okay.
And we are in thousands.
Thank
we
you.
support everyone regarding this engineers bill.
Thank you,
And
Shashikant.
we are opposing lively here in our area and beyond our area, whatever COA is doing.
Thank
And
you.
we are waiting for your kind instructions to follow. Everything we are following. And I kindly request your drafts, whatever you are submitting to MHRD or anything, in those letters, please mention NBC, you please keep it aside. NBC did not come to the earth first. We, the engineers, came first. We are the first. We are the builders of not only a nation, we are the builders of this world, right from a small dust particle.
Thank you. Thank you, Shashikant. Let me,
Include
sir, we will address this point. Shashikant, please be online. Yeah, Udesh sir, he is talking about mainly the diploma engineers. Can you address this issue? Anything about engineers bill and diploma engineers, sir?
Well, the earlier draft which I had seen did not have any provision for diploma engineers.
Yeah.
We will have to specially request but when ECI started registering professional engineers, we have made a provision that degree holders with 7 years can be professional engineer, but diploma with another 5 years. If they've got 12 years, they can also be registered as professional engineers. So we probably will have to discuss this one, whether in the bill, a diploma holder with a little more number of years of experience can be registered also as professional engineer.
This is what I have been clarifying, sir. Once the bill is enacted, only as you said, the associations are authorized to license. The associations have to frame the guidelines for various competence and then issue the license for those disciplines. Definitely, diploma engineers are also required in the process of construction and planning and all. But we have to define clearly the competence and accountability for these diploma engineers, sir.
Yeah, but if the Act does not provide for it, associations won't be able to do it. So
Yes,
in the
sir.
Act, we will have to get this provision inserted.
Okay, okay. That's why I wanted you to address this, because you are a quite knowledgeable person and you have many member associations in ECI. Give the membership to diploma engineers with certain experience, like ACCE also. We give the membership to diploma engineers practicing as the member of ACCE, sir.
Exactly.
Raju Gogia, sir, do you have anything to supplement to this? You're not audible, sir. Shivkumar, sir, I want you to speak. Rajkumar from Telangana.
Sir.
Yeah. You can start video, please.
Yeah. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning to everybody, and it is a very constructive meetings been happening since so long, and ECI's recent. I really thank all the ECI board of governors, especially Udesh sir, for your all efforts since long, and everybody, Swarup sir and everybody, and everything is going on well now. Only thing is architectural amendments also need to be addressed in a proper way, sir. That is the only
Yes.
concern of everybody, every civil engineer in this forum. And diploma engineers also need to be addressed. These two issues we need to take care, Uday sir, and all
Yes.
the members having in this forum. We need to address these two issues importantly, and anyway, professional engineers village in way. And as all of you discussed now, the provision of all the association members should be there in the board of governors instead of 27. If it can be increased also, later we can have amendments and do the increase in the membership. But the compulsory representation must be there, and giving powers to the association bodies also is must necessary. So if it is tabled in the parliament, then during deliberation stage, we can also meet MPs and have the questions to be asked for the purpose. This is what I wanted to convey to all of you, and a great efforts by all of us and all of you. And thanks, and looking forward for a fruitful ending for all these issues.
Thank you, Rajkumar. Sir, do you respond, sir? Udesh, sir?
No, I'm in agreement. I mean, the points are being made, are very well taken. So main thing is that we have to make sure, now we have to ensure, we have to pursue and make sure that the bill comes as quickly as possible. I can tell you one thing. Once the ministry agrees, and then they have to consult the law ministry, other ministry, they consult all, and it goes to cabinet. Once the cabinet approves and it comes to parliament, 99% will go through. In the present government, because they have the majority, they have got everything. Main thing is that we have to first pass the hurdle of government, so to say. The government must approve, the cabinet must approve. And cabinet means all the ministries. And once the bill is, Ministry HRD has sort of got the comments and all that, they will then refer to Ministry of Law, first of all. And then they refer to all other ministries also to get their views. Then only it goes to the cabinet. So it will take some time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Raghunandan, sir, do you have anything to say from?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. As others told, in fact, Srikanth has mentioned, the architects in their amendment, they are trying to take the entire construction activities in their hold. That is the first thing which need to be understood by everyone. And this is the time that every engineer, every civil engineer, whether they are postgraduates or engineers or diploma holders, all has to come together to work for this. Let us not have any difference of opinion among ourselves.
That's
so
right.
we need to be consolidate our views that everyone is interested in the diploma holders portion, that is contribution to the construction field, and we are working on it. First, we'll have to pass the engineers bill and then go for any amendments. At this stage, any amendments or any modification, the present draft, it may delay the whole process in this. So we need to concentrate and see that the engineers bill is passed at the earliest so that we can go ahead with the other amendments at a later stage. This is what I just want to emphasize. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So it's a very important point brought out by Raghunandan, sir. This is the time we have to all work together, graduates, diploma or postgraduates, all of us to work together to protect the, we have been seeing, actually with this, sir, I want to mention one point. The Architects Act has been misinterpreted and misrepresented in the last almost 4.5 decades. And that is proved by so many litigations that happened in almost every high court in our state, in our country. And finally, it has come to an end thanks to the Supreme Court judgment. But it is not stopping there. Now they want to legitimize their actions so far in this 4.5 decade by bringing in amendment to their act, which if we don't oppose tooth and nail, all engineers, all engineering associations, if we don't oppose this amendment and that will be the last nail for our activities actually. So we have to work or play second fiddle to the architects. So this is the biggest threat.
Very important. We have to work unitedly to oppose it with all our might. So to say.
This amendment will not only affect civil engineers, sir. It will affect mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and plumbing, sanitary engineers. There are air conditioning. There are so many consultants actually in our country practicing in these specialized disciplines. All engineers. So they will all be losing their freedom to practice actually. They have to work under architects, sir.
Very well. Yes, very well said.
So any other points, sir? Shivkumar sir, are you there now? Indian Geotechnical Society. For example, I want to mention this geotechnical engineering, which is very, sir, I want you to join and address because you are first time joining this meeting.
Yeah, I think first of all, I must congratulate all of you for joining in this important meeting. I believe that I think unless the role of engineer is clearly defined and we ascertain ourselves, and we have been seeing that the role of architecture is limited to certain things, but the groundwork is being done by an engineer, different kinds of engineers, as you just pointed out. Until we stress on that and essentially take it forward, I think there is no meaningful way. And whatever steps we have been doing, particularly with ECI, I know them very well. So I meet them. So I think we are in the right direction. I hope that our efforts will be, we should see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel soon. That's my request. I hope. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Any other presidents want to address in this? If you raise the hand, I'll be able to see actually. Otherwise, yeah, Girish. Shivkumar sir is a professor from IISc. Yeah, Girish.
Thank you, Engineer Shiv Prakash sir. Sir, this is just to add to what Dr. Udesh Kohli and Dr. R. Jagdish sir said, that the concept of licensing should not be with a statutory body, but it should be outsourced to registered and properly validated associations. Having said that, I think it's time that individual associations like the Structural Engineers Association, Geotechnical Engineers Association, the Consulting Engineers Association, they start putting in place certain rules which they would like to implement to license engineers. So what I suggest is we can have a two-stage documentation called Part A and Part B, where Part A runs common right through all the skill sets of civil engineering, like, the code of ethics, professional practice, not to do anything with an enemy country or things like that, and any latest development. That is Part A. Part B can be a specific role play or the specific requirement of that particular trade or skill set. So what happens is that we have a Part A which covers the entire civil engineering fraternity, and Part B which is very specific to that respective course specialization. I think this we can start doing it right now, so that when the engineers bill gets passed, we are already there in a very matured form. Secondly, this particular activity of ours can also be used as a counterfort in case we require to go in a litigative manner to say how and demonstrate how organized we are with respect to forward thinking, and we are already have systems in place, and therefore we cannot be denied the right to have independence to do our own practices.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good suggestion. Very good suggestion.
Thank you, sir.
So
it's a preparatory work, so to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Prepare ourselves.
Yes, sir. So if there are no other suggestions, I request all the panelists, participants, whoever have given suggestions, to write down and post it in our WhatsApp group so that we'll be able to record it, sir. Girish, Dr. Jagdish, sir, Srikanth, all the panelists, Raghunandan, sir, please give your suggestions in writing so that we'll incorporate in the minutes of this meeting, sir. So we thank Dr. Udesh Kohli, sir, for joining this meeting today. And really, we are strengthened, I would say, with working together with the ECI, as well as we had the Institution of Engineers President also addressing this gathering. We had CREDAI President, we had NAREDCO President, we had one Member of Parliament who has addressed this gathering, sir. and we had a civil engineering division chairman of Institution of Engineers. All of them are in agreement to support our actions actually. So it is our job now to get into action actually. So my wish list again, I'll just repeat and conclude, is that we should have state level federations encompassing all the district and town level practicing engineers associations, sir, number one. So then we will be connecting to all the associations, number one. And number two is bring in all the associations together like ECI did and work together for achieving our objectives. This is for the betterment of our own fraternity and profession. Number two, sir. Number three is connect with all the civil engineers in our country. There is no way which we are trying to do now, sir. We have formed a Telegram group where we have 11,000 civil engineers now in one single group. And we will be able to communicate. Our objective is to connect with at least 1 lakh civil engineers, so that whenever there is any requirement of meeting MPs or meeting MLAs or meeting ministers, we will be able to communicate through this group quickly and act on it for the requirement of our own fraternity, sir. So thank you very much, sir, for joining us, and we'll keep.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
We'll keep in touch, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are closing the meeting, sir. After recording whatever charts, suggestions are there, we will take it as minutes, and then we'll conclude the meeting. Thank you all for joining from the valuable time of your family time on Sunday, and we'll meet again next Sunday. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bhaskar,
Yes, sir.
can you copy this chat box?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I am stopping the live stream. We were on Facebook, and the same meeting will be available on YouTube after half an hour. So we'll share that link in our President's group and PPAG group, so that you can share, and also we'll share it in Telegram group, sir. So thank you very much.